Well, Justin Downs is the president of Axis Leisure Management.
Certainly things like running, trail running, road cycling, mountain biking, all of these types of sports are really growing rapidly. Even sports like sailing and fishing still continue to grow. They used to be very difficult sports for people to get involved with, but now people are more and more interested in them. And winter sport, as you said, ice skating, skiing, and snowboarding are definitely on the rise following the Beijing 2022 Olympics. So, you know, the demographic that's most strong in getting into outdoor sports are the millennials, so those born in the 80s and 90s, and they represent more than 70% of participants in outdoor sports, so very influential and large part of the market.
And it is a gigantic market. I mean, how much would you say the outdoor sports scene is worth in China?
Well, there's lots of numbers out there, and I guess you can break it up into different segments. But basically, the forecast right now is that China's outdoor market would hit 3 trillion RMB by the end of next year. That is a massive, massive market. And I think that the more sports that people get involved in, the more money there is invested into the industry by the government and by the private sector, more and more people will get into sport. And then you've got the periphery of all of this and the other industries that benefit from sport that could also be counted as a benefit to the sport industry in China.
So let's talk a little bit more about that, because, you know, as you say, we're seeing this boom in businesses that are related to outdoor sports. I mean, what kind of enterprises are we talking about?
Well, I mean, of course, you've got apparel and equipment, so shoes and clothing, not just for sport. I mean, I would say if I was to take an educated guess, I'd probably say 70% of people wearing sporting apparel are not actually participating in those sports. It's very much become a status and a lifestyle symbol. So people wearing Lululemon or Arc'teryx or Descente, these types of technical sporting clothes as day-to-day wear. So the apparel and equipment industry is huge, but then you've got the whole research and development side of things that goes into equipment. You've got AI, you've got big data, you've got the tourism development and sporting facility development, you know, at gyms, all of these types of things that are just, it's not, you know, direct purchasing by the consumer, but need to be developed in order to support the rapidly growing industry. So education, for example, is obviously a big part of it as well.
So this is big business, and we're not just talking about China here. It's global. So, I mean, what do you think? What does what is happening in China compare with the rest of the world?
Well, I mean, China is obviously a huge population, so you know, we talk about percentages in China. They may look smaller as compared to a country like Germany. If you look at running, for example, say 30% of people in Germany are considered to be runners, but less than 6% in China. But you're talking about 6% of 1.4 billion. And people are getting their taste for these types of sports, not just running, of course, but hiking and cycling and skiing and snowboarding. They're learning their craft and their love and their passion for the sport, and then they're taking it overseas because they want to explore the world with their newfound energy and skills. So the investment that is being made in China by far is going to benefit the global industry. And that's why the global industry needs to pay attention to what is happening here, because the Chinese market is coming. And it's being homegrown with its own technologies, and then they're coming out into the world to experience what the rest of the world has to offer.